guys, shalom, shalom. This is Nabiya Bat Yehuda, bringing you intimate truth. It's the truth that you embrace that makes you free. I am so glad that you are here again, coming to chime in to watch this another fireside chat. So I wanted to kind of pose a couple of questions to you during this session, and I also wanted to share with you some things that I have discovered along my journey. So again, we've been talking about just dating and relating with people. And so yesterday, what I did was I talked about in the last video is how you can basically get to know yourself. Now, when we choose people, it's based on what's in us, it's based on our filters. And I don't just mean dating people. I mean, that's going to be really important because now you're sizing this person up to be your life mate. But if you are one of those people that have been hurt and wounded, abused, misappropriated, misdiagnosed, and you have some internal issues going on, that's how you're going to choose the person. And you would think, well, I need a person that's going to treat me well. One and one is two all day long, right? Maybe. But if you're mixed up, the math or the computations are not going to be as clear cut as you would think. And so normally, one, hurt people. Number two, you pick people because of what you're used to, and your internals are actually guiding your process, not what we call common sense. And so that means you have some deep work to do. So if you're thinking about getting married and choosing a life mate, or in other words, a covenant partner, you're going to need somebody who understands what love is: compassion, patience, mercy, somebody that's going to edify you, to encourage you, to lift you up, to build you up in areas, and I mean small pockets, because again, you have to come into the relationship as a whole person. You don't want to be needy. You don't want to be emotionally needy or emotionally unavailable. And then you don't want to pick a person that's like that as well. So that's really important. As I shared in my own testimony, I've had, I came up with some rough times, and my picker was just off. And so, and it has to be more than, girl, he is so cute, or he is driving an Infinity, whatever. Because those are externals. If you want someone to treat you well, it would make sense that you treat yourself well first, right? So here's the question for you. In your last relationship, how did that go? How did they treat you? How did you feel when they walked into the room? How did you feel when they called you or text you? How did they make you feel when, you did something for them and it didn't seem like it was appreciated? And so you have to think about things like that. When we're up close in a relationship, we may not see certain things, but when we get a little further back away from it, then we can pretty much see what was going on. And so if you have friends around you who are saying you should probably leave, then you should probably leave. Because there are indicators within the relationship that's going to tell you this is not good. If you're feeling sad, if you're getting beat up or screamed at, yelled at, made to feel less than, beloved, you are in the wrong room with the wrong person. And that's not a person that you want a covenant with. You want a person that's mature, that doesn't play games, that sees your potential and wants to speak to the queen that is in you. And if you're a guy watching this, you want somebody that's going to speak to your potential and the king that is in you. There's such a thing as having fun, you know. And I was interviewed yesterday, April 10th. For those of you that are watching this later, April 10th, I was interviewed on Instagram on a show called Red Cup Talks. And it was an interesting conversation because I was sharing how, you know, you have to have, there's a difference between a person that has insecurities and a person that's secure in who they are. And when you are not secure in who you are, then when you say yes to an opportunity, yes to a person, yes to a situation, you're basing it on your own insecurities. That means that I can't really see myself being successful. I can't really see myself being more than what I am right now. And so it's about growth, it's about stability, it's about having joy, and not just happiness, because happiness is tied to happenings, things that, I'm happy because of this. Well, you need to be joyful, which means that that's just the state that you're always in. Joyful. And I'm not talking about when bad news happens, you're still joyful. I'm talking about your constant state, your default. I'm a joyful person, whether I'm with someone or not. That has to be the thing. You cannot count on another person to bring you happiness. You have to come with this already as a preset in your hardware. If I'm going to say it like that. Like when you get your computer, there are things that are already preset on there. That mean, or even your phone. Like if you take your phone and you try to delete certain things, you can't because it's preset. It's not going anywhere and you can't take it off. And so that means, and I think about the scripture that talks about, when Yeshua says, "Peace I give to you, not as the world." There's a song that says the world didn't give it and the world didn't take it away. You have to already be preset with things like joy and patience and ahava, love. These are things that you should just have. Um, and nobody should be able to come and just like take it away from you, right? I mean, doesn't that make sense? So your happiness and your joy is not predicated on another individual. I hope that makes sense. If it makes sense, please comment in the chat. And there are things, there are just things that you need to know about yourself. There are things that you have to come with or carry. And a lot of times we talk about, well, I know what I bring to the table. And so the person on the other side of the table, what are they bringing you? Who's, and one of the things I said in the interview on Red Cup Talks, I said, sometimes when people come into our lives, we have to ask ourselves, who sent them? Because this is the things that we need to be aware of. Blessings and cursings come wrapped up in flesh. Male or female, young or old, short or tall, it doesn't make any difference. A curse can come wrapped up in flesh, just like blessings can come wrapped up in flesh. And so this other individual that you are considering, how are they coming to you? Now, let me say this. No, first of all, nobody is perfect. But if you see like a bunch of red flags, please pay attention. And then even if you see them, start to inquire and test it because, maybe there's some other reason for it. So you test it. But if you see it is consistent, or when I mean, let me say it like this: if you see that it is a consistent behavior, that's going to be your gauge. If a guy is talking about, and I'm talking to the ladies, if a guy is talking about, smacking you on the behind and you don't hardly know him, check him. Check him. If he talks about straightening you out, check him. No, you got the wrong one. That will not be happening. You can go do that somewhere else. You got to check him. And you can't be afraid to do that. Why? Because you are a woman that needs to be respected. Or they talk about doing certain things to you or whatever. Yo, I'm not your wife. So that right there, No, you have no access to that part of me. We can laugh and kiki and we can spend time. We can hug. We might even be able to cuddle. But all that other stuff you're trying to do, nah, bruh. And you cannot be afraid to say no. No is so liberating. And you don't have to compromise. Like you don't have to. Because a man will test you to see just about how much he can get away with. And other people in other situations. I don't care if it's in church, at your job, in school, people will test you to see just how much you can get away with. Yeah, oh, I'm sorry, to get how much they can get away with. And if they see that they can get away with it, that's exactly what they're going to do. So they will only go as far as you allow. Okay. So I just want to pop in for a little bit and share that. I hope that has been helpful to you and that you start to make some evaluations, do some inner reflections, even journal about it, and start dealing with your shortcomings, with your woundedness, with your pain points. And again, if you need to reach out and get a consultation, get some counseling, get coached, I am here. And I'll link all of that um, in the description. And so what I want to do is I'm going to actually pause um, for a moment so that you can get a pen and write this down. Did you get a pen? Because you need to. That's the link right there. Calendly.com/mindhack with Nabia /30 minutes. Or MIN, no S. And so that's how you can reach out to me. Get on my calendar. Let's chat it up. Let's see what's going on. Because, listen, there's a lot of things that are going on with you on the inside. So, I talk a lot about scattered souls. What does that look like? How does that even happen? And how can you recondition or rewire your brain so that you're able to make more intelligent and intentional decisions for your life? So yeah, we're talking about dating. We're talking about all of that right now in this video, but I want to go deeper. So it can't be just how to find a quality man, how to show more of your femininity, how to be more fun. No, you may have some other things going on that you need to look at because it doesn't matter, even if you can identify that quality covenant partner, you don't want to self sabotage yourself and the relationship because you have not dealt with what's going on the inside of you. All right. So, with that said, I hope to see you. Hope to get a chance to talk to you. You never know. God always wants us to move forward and to grow and to know ourselves. And there's an old adage called know thyself. And most people really do not know themselves, which is why they get into the trouble that they do. That's why I got into the trouble that I did because I didn't even know myself. I didn't know what my real underlying motivations were. And so I had to walk through that and I'll talk more about that in another video, just to give you, a better backstory of where I've walked from, came through, came to, broke through, and here we are. But I am ever learning and I am ever growing as I hope that you choose to do that because life consists of choices. All right, so with that said, I will see you in the next session. God bless, shalom, and lehitraot.